How much money are you leaving on the table if you sell your home as is? In this video, I'll break down the pros and cons of selling your home in its current condition and share a proven strategy I've used to help my clients get the most value out of their homes. You don't want to miss this, so let's do this. You're probably wondering if it's worth fixing things up first. Should you tackle those repairs, or can you sell as is? Here's the truth. Every home is technically sold as is, but you aren't always required to make repairs. Let's talk about the benefits of going down the as is route. Number one, convenience. Selling as is hassle-free. You can skip the headaches of repairs and avoid negotiations over small issues, scuffed floors, outdated fixtures, or even your cabinets. You can hand over the keys and just be done. So that's going to be much easier if you do it that way. Number two is the speed. Without repairs, you don't have to worry. You can list your home faster, which is helpful if you're facing financial stress, a family situation, or just need to sell quickly. Number three, cost of savings. No need to cough up thousands on repairs or renovations before you list the property. This can be a big advantage if you don't have the funds to make improvements. Now, for the flip side, here are a few cons of selling your home as is, and then I'll share a quick story. That way you can get a better understanding of the whole situation. All right. Number one is lower offers. You can expect offers below market value, typically between 10 to 15%, lower than homes in better condition. So you want to compare what your homes are selling for in your neighborhood, but in prime condition. And if yours needs work and is as-is condition, just be prepared to lose that amount. Number two, fewer buyers. Buyers may wonder what's wrong with the house and hesitate to make an offer, reducing the pool of interested buyers. Now, you want to get as many people through the door as possible. So, quick tip. If you are selling a big fixer-upper property, list the home on consumer websites with one picture. That picture is going to be the front of the house. That's it. That's the only picture you're going to have online. Second step. Have your price irresistible that buyers, investors, agents, and everyone has to see it. Has to go to the house in person at your open house because it's such a good deal, nobody can ignore it. And that, ladies and gentlemen, will start a bidding war. So just be prepared for that. Now, will some people be upset it's too good to be true when you see the house in person and then it's a huge project? Absolutely. But you are here to sell your house for the highest price. And obviously, if your house was fully renovated and remodeled, the price wouldn't be as low as you market it as. So you, in reality, are doing your job by getting people through the door to take a look at it. And then you're going to be prepared with everything they need to show them it's actually an amazing deal. And then hopefully they bring you an offer. Number three. Limited loan options. FHA and VA loans have stricter requirements, so some buyers may not be eligible to purchase an as-is home, further limiting your potential offers. If you decide to sell as is, here's the key to getting the best price. Number one, compare your home to others in similar condition. Number two, list the repairs needed and estimate the cost. Buyers, especially investors, will factor in repair costs, so it's good to be upfront about it. Investors specifically will inflate how much it's actually going to cost to remodel your house, therefore trying to negotiate a lower price. So just be aware of that. So if you already have these conversations with contractors before you even go to sell it and have that contractor provide you an estimate on the repairs it's going to take, on top of that, have an inspection of your house already completed with an estimate of those repairs as well, it's going to be easier to sell your house to buyers that walk in, especially if they know how much it's already going to cost to remodel the whole thing already. You're prepared. You want that. You want them to know that way you can explain that the house price is listed to sell on purpose. And if they walk in like, oh, it's going to need a lot of work, obviously, you priced it really well. It's an amazing deal. Plus, it's going to cost you about this much to remodel the entire thing. So they're going to factor that in. And then you show them the actual value of the neighborhood. It's going to be an easier sell that way. So investors inflate the price, but also regular buyers inflate the price to remodel as well. because most of the time they don't know what it's going to cost to remodel. A lot of time buyers don't know. So they really inflate it and they talk themselves out of doing it in the first place. Now, a quick story. I had a client who needed to sell her father's home after he passed away. The home hadn't been lived in for a few years and needed significant repairs. The previous owner also hadn't done any remodeling or updating or fixing since he bought the house brand new in the 1960s. So selling as is was the best solution for her since it allowed her to avoid the hassle and costs of fixing the house. That house, fully renovated at the time, was worth about $1.7 million. However, the repairs needed for that house to be fully renovated was about $250,000, which this seller didn't have on hand to fix up and had no idea where to start and just didn't want to deal with it. So this home was a lot more work and way too much for a typical home buyer that's already paying an arm and a leg for a property like this and then having to pay $250,000 on top of what they needed to pay to buy that house. It just wasn't going to be a good fit for a first-time home buyer. Now, in a perfect and rare situation is to find a buyer in that price range that wants to live in a home and not flip it. So they can look at the cost, they can qualify for it, and then they can, if they have the cash, then they can remodel it themselves before they even move in. Now, that's a perfect situation, but sometimes if the house needs more work and the bank won't give them a loan because the house needs a lot of work, then, you're going to be limited to options. You may have to consider an investor. So this property specifically, it needed more work and it wasn't the best fit for someone looking to move into the house right away since the home was not in livable condition. So can it happen? Can you find that buyer? Absolutely. But in this case, there were less buyers that would qualify for the loan on the property since it was not in livable condition. So if you're in this situation, you may want to consider selling to an investor if you don't have the extra funds on hand for a remodel and it's more convenient and less stressful for you and your family to sell as is. If you want to remodel and get the most for your property, but you don't have the funds, but you have the time, there are also other options available. So you could get a construction loan, or you can go through a third-party company that will remodel your house for you and get it ready to sell. And you only have to pay the company that remodeled your house at close of escrow. So they're going to fix it up for you. They're going to pay everything up front. You don't even pay anything. And then at close of escrow, then you pay them. So it's like you don't even see it anyway, but you get a little bit more money because it was turnkey, it sold fast, and it looked awesome, and you got the highest amount for it. So there are companies out there, and if you need one, just definitely reach out and I can set you up. So this seller, in my example, ended up accepting an offer for $1.3 million, not having to deal with the hassle of remodeling themselves and having to pay $250,000 up front. So this is a prime example of selling as is and losing about 15% of your property's value. That's roughly, because the investors that bought it, if you look at it, $250,000 to repair, $1.3 million, that's $1.55 million. So they potentially lost about $150,000 by not going through the work and months of remodeling and getting it turnkey and all this stuff. So that's roughly about 15% in that price range. So just keep that in mind when you do this. Now, for this seller, it was much more convenient. She didn't want to deal with anything. So it was just easier to just go ahead and sell it as is and take that 15% loss, especially because it was on a busy street and there was still a risk of not even possibly getting the 1.7. Now, the investors did get 1.7, but there was still a risk of that. So this is another thing that you're going to have to do. So it's a long process and it can be overwhelming for some people if you're not prepared for that. So to wrap up, pricing your home fairly, even as is, can still attract serious buyers, and you might be surprised by the results. You really will if you price it well. So there's two reasons why homes don't sell. One is the marketing. Second is the price. So just keep that in mind. If your marketing's there, if your agent brings thousands of people, you're getting thousands of views online, you're getting a bunch of walk-ins during your open house and people are signing in, but you're not getting those offers, then you may need to adjust the price quite a bit. So there's two reasons. There's only two reasons. So if you are thinking of selling but don't know where to start, or you're just feeling overwhelmed with the process, you can reach out to me through the info in the description. I am located in California, Bay Area, but if you are in a different state or different location, fill out the form through the link in the description. I would be happy to connect you with a solid agent in your area that can help you with a stress-free transition into your new home. Guys, thank you so much for watching. And if you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, leave a comment for more videos that you would like to see in the future. My name is Wesley Craig, signing off, and I will see you in the next video. You're awesome.